Apple TV debuting its new show, The Studio, yesterday. This is coming after reports that the company is losing more than $1 billion a year from its streaming service. Apple trying to compete in an already crowded streaming space, and we're navigating how to play that sector with the Yahoo Finance Playbook. Joining us now is Laura Martin, Senior Media and Internet Analyst at Needham & Company. Laura, it is always great to see you and have you on the show. I want to start there with those numbers on Apple TV Plus, Laura. That was the information. They reported Apple TV Plus losing more than $1 billion a year on that streaming service, that they've spent more than $5 billion a year on content since launching Apple TV Plus in 2019. They did say they trimmed it by around $500 million last year. I'm just curious, listen, that made a lot of headlines, Laura. It got a lot of attention. When you saw those numbers, Laura, generally, did that dovetail with your own estimates and forecasts? Did you believe those numbers?
I did, and I think it's indicative of the fact that Apple is not really in the streaming business, that it's a hobby and not actually a strategic commitment, because Disney's spending $32 billion a year on its content budget, including sports. Netflix is spending $20 billion a year-ish. Warner Brothers is up at the $30 billion level, and here's Apple spending $5 billion. If news reports are right, they're spending $4.5 billion, and they're losing $1 billion of it. So they're not really a player in this space. They're dabbling, I would say.
And is that hobby for it worth it? They've gotten some cultural buzz on some of the shows and whatnot. I guess my question is, what does it do for them?
So I think the problem is that what they're going to fight for is engagement length. And what's really great, they have 45 million subscribers, we estimate, for their streaming service. And those 45 million subscribers, typically, if you look at Roku's estimates or the old Vizio's estimates, of 3.5 hours a day just watching this kind of content. So if they do a good job of streaming, they can double or triple the amount of time spent on an Apple device, which makes people buy more Apple devices. So it could be very helpful, but a $5 billion spending limit is just really indifferent. And they make a $90 billion of free cash flow a year. So losing $1 billion, like I said, not much of a commitment